Curiosity. What are you so curious about? Everything, Mr. Curiosity.
Mindi fussing around with the bag.
Well,
You
I
wanna
can't see Nikki. I have to scooch.
I know.
Hi, Nikki. I want to be able to see her.
Hi, John.
Hi, Joe.
Every Friday we ask for your questions, we put them in the bag, and then we answer them live. And we're pretty uncomfortable because we never know what we're going to get.
That's true.
Yeah, so let's get started. But if you want a question in the bag for the next episode, it's brownbag@wnep.com. This becomes a podcast that's then available on Monday, and you can listen to it whenever you want. Because who wants to fold socks and not listen to a podcast?
That's true.
Or go for a walk, or do exercise?
Gotta love the podcast.
We've been doing this for about 2 months now. I think it's been going well, don't you?
It's been going great. So again, we don't
3
preview
months
these
now.
questions, so we don't even know what we're going to get. But get them in the bag, brownbag@wnep.com. Mindi, you're up first. I command.
Are they going to fix your voice in post or not?
Oh, yeah, I do have a cold. I've been fighting something, but it's just about over, so I'll be fine. I'm a little nasally today.
I can tell.
Oh, boy.
Oh my gosh. Who's this from?
Well, you can
This is
read that.
from-
I see what it says.
Oh
Listen,
my gosh. This is from Ben.
See, we're edgy.
Are we edgy or are we just silly?
Well, we didn't make up the question. I see it, man.
Okay. This question is for the entire team. It says, have you ever gone a day without wearing underwear?
It is a good question when you think
Oh.
about it. Because since childhood, I don't think I have.
Are you serious?
A whole day.
A whole day?
Like how? In what situation would you?
Like if you were wearing a bathing suit, maybe, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But a whole day.
Yeah, I guess a bathing suit. But
A whole day without wearing underwear.
I always wear underwear. I don't know if that's I guess it's a personal question, but I feel weird if I don't have underwear.
That's what I
on.
mean.
yeah, I can't
Yeah.
imagine not having them on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mindy's the only one because I can tell, she's like all for
No,
this.
no. I'm just saying I've worn a bathing suit for
All
a day.
from
Yeah.
7 a.m.
Like if you're at
until
the
you go to
beach.
If you're at the
bed.
beach or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I
Beach all
guess I've
day?
done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
Does
you're at
that
the beach.
count? I don't know.
I'm going to say you never wore a bathing suit all day, so you're hiding
think I
something.
have.
Not like the complete day.
Well, he
the
said
most
all
of
day.
the day.
Oh. Who is this weirdo?
This is Ben.
Okay.
I think Ben is
Ben,
the new
I'm just
Travis.
kidding.
He's had a lot of questions.
Oh,
in
he
there.
Oh, has that
has.
had a lot?
Questions?
Yeah.
So I think it's a unanimous no, 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 yes.
No. I'm a no. There's never been a day, except for if I was wearing a bathing suit all day.
And believe me, there's nothing wrong with not wearing
No,
underwear.
it's
We're all
fine.
social constructs. We're told to do it, and we do it like idiots. I'm not going to do it anymore.
There was that whole Seinfeld episode about going commando. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Kramer. He's like, I'm going
Oh
commando,
my God,
baby.
going commando.
That's
I forgot
right.
that phrase.
Yes. That was
It
a good
just
one.
seems weird. I don't know
Yes.
why, but it does. And there's nothing wrong with not doing it.
I mean,
But then again, that's another social construct.
yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Do you think 1,000 years ago they wore underwear every day?
Probably
No,
not.
they only had a loincloth.
We're all just slaves to the current regime and culture. As a matter of fact, people used to just walk around naked all the time back in hundreds of years ago.
Yeah.
Nothing.
We don't want to do that.
If you're in your house naked all day, then you don't need underwear. Well, anyway, all right. So, Tom C. says, I was an educator for 40 years. Why does our society insist that formal wear, business attire, for men are a coat and a tie? Do you have to wear a coat and a tie to go to heaven? I refuse. Why then am I to refuse service in some restaurants unless I have a coat and tie on? I never wear a coat and tie. Again in my life, I'll be a happy man. Who was this idiot who started wearing a coat and tie? Social construct.
We do get a lot of questions
About
related to
that.
this
We've
kind
had a
of stuff.
similar
Yeah,
one.
maybe because Joe talks about it a lot, and also you sort of epitomize the anti-formality kind of thing.
And here's my way of, if you go back to any time in history, look at the 1500s. All men would have these big collars up to their head, right? Can you picture that?
Oh, yeah.
Galileo, and they'd have these big puffy pants, and now it's funny when we look at them. They didn't think it was funny. What we're doing now is going to be funny to people
Yes.
hundreds of years in a row, and they're going to be like, Why did those idiots do that? Well, I'm saying don't do it. I'm not going to be one of those idiots, so that's why I don't do that.
Because you think of when we see all the like drawings of the founders, and they'd have to wear their powdered wigs
Yes!
to be in there, and these were the people that founded America, and that's what they were wearing on their heads. You had to have a powdered wig.
Well, they still do that in England, the judges.
The judges and stuff.
And Parliament, right?
Yes.
Don't they wear it too?
What would they think of us now?
Or how about even baseball games in the late 1800s, early 1900s? The men would all be dressed up.
All suits, ties, and hats.
Yeah.
So are we
We
going?
need to bring that back.
No.
I don't know.
But does this mean we're going the way of sweatpants at Walmart? Is gonna
That
be
is
And
how
that's
we're
what when
going.
you say we're looking back, and someday we're going to look back and think of this as funny. So it's hard to imagine us getting much more casual.
Yeah. So where's it gonna
You
go?
know, so where is it
Where
going
is
to
it
go
going?
from here? Because we are at sweatpants at Walmart stage.
Aren't we at the most casual?
So
it
I
can
don't
be?
know how much
Yeah.
farther we can go to the casual point.
Well, when you look at movies that depict the future, it's bald men in silver jumpsuits.
That's true.
So maybe this
Spandex.
is where we're going.
We're going to spandex,
There's gonna
just
be
like
no,
bicyclists.
There's gonna be no hair, and it's just gonna be spandex thin outfits, John. That's where we're going.
That's what they do in Star Trek too.
That is true.
There's
Yeah.
no hair in the future, buddy. Okay, that's just how it is.
You might as well just shave your head now. Get prepared for the future. You can be progressive and be prepared.
Aliens never have hair. They're future advanced in technology.
Nikki, it's the
Nikki,
fall
you
of the
better pick a
ball.
question.
Are you going to go bald for the future?
You know what, Mindy? I don't think so. I'll be stuck in the past.
Okay. I think that's all right.
Yeah,
Get a good one, Nikki.
I'm trying. Hey, morning crew. Is there another body of water between a creek and a river? I was trying to name different types of bodies of water with moving water and order them by size. So far I have stream, brook, creek, river. This is from Travis, former
Oh my gosh, of
NEPA
course
resident.
it's Travis, yes.
So he has stream, brook, creek, river, and he wants to know if there's anything between a creek and a river.
So I think I would order them, if you're going in the order, I would think,
Stream is first.
no. I
No.
would think a brook,
Brook.
then a creek, then a stream, and then I don't think there's anything till the river.
A stream is definitely smaller than a brook.
No, I would think of the
No,
brook.
she's
as
a
a
little
little
bigger than a brook.
What? It's
When
just
I
a little
was in
stream.
college, and I took a lot of courses that involve stream sediments. And I remember like it was yesterday, my instructor saying, every moving body of water is a stream. The creek, the brook, the river aren't official terms. They're all streams, but I don't know if that's accurate. He may have been wrong. They're not gods, but
Just
so
like-
he's saying it's all really a stream. But you look at a map, and even official maps like Google or Atlas, and they have the word creek and brook. So I don't know. I think it's locally named, but in a geographical or geological sense, they're all streams.
And you think, if you look at some of the rivers, like say Lackawanna River, and you go up to Susquehanna County where the Lackawanna River starts, and you look at it, and the sign
trickle.
across the bridge says Lackawanna River, and you look at that and like,
Yeah.
that is not a river.
That's not a river.
Because it's I wouldn't even call it a brook. I'd call it a trickle, like
Yeah.
you're saying, if you go in the headwaters of it.
And no one's going to call the swollen Susquehanna River a stream.
A
That
stream.
seems
And I've seen
unfair.
some streams that are really big in parts, and it's just a stream.
Yeah, so I don't know what the geographical answer is.
Well, is
to
there
this.
anything between a creek and a river?
Or a stream and a river? I don't think so. I don't think there's a.
I think it's all loose.
They're all streams.
loose vernacular.
And then,
Right.
of course,
What about a
is
crick?
it a creek?
Or a crick.
Oh.
A crick.
That just depends on
Because
where
I think
you live.
if I went home where I grew up and I called and said, let's go down to Elk Creek, I'd get beat up.
Is that right?
Really?
If I said the word creek,
Get
they'd be
out.
like, oh, he came in from the city and he's called it a creek.
What do you mean,
It's a
your
creek.
old crick?
It's a creek.
And that's like the Appalachian. You ever hear people in the South, they call it the Appalachians.
Yes.
That makes me angry because to me it's so redneck. It's so.
But that's just what they call
But
it.
that's what its official
That's-
term is when you're in the southern part of our country.
Yeah.
We're in the Appalachian. That sounds like some guy with a beard that lives in a shack. In the
And a
middle
lot of our
nowhere.
viewing area would be a creek.
When people
Not a
say
creek.
crick, it goes right through me.
It's
Whoa,
same.
whoa.
It's
Everybody
like
says it.
fingernails on a
You don't like
chalkboard.
crick?
It's like
Yes, I
fingernails
hate
on
it
a
too.
chalkboard.
You don't like crick?
I don't like crick.
And John?
It's a creek.
No, it's not.
We're going fishing in the
but,
creek.
But you wouldn't say that on the news.
I wouldn't. I
So
wouldn't
there
say
you
it on the
go.
news. And my mom, this is funny. So also where I grew up, rural, small town, you wouldn't go fishing or hunting. You go fishing or hunting. And when I was first on the news, I said fishing one time, like to the weather guy. I was saying I went fishing, and my mom called, and she was like, "You can't say on the news fishing." My English teacher mom.
Oh.
It's fishing, hunting. So.
Well, good for her.
I love that.
Yeah, it's good for her. I mean,
Mom's
I'm glad she
correcting
corrected
you.
you. Yes.
Well, I think whoever's next.
I'm up.
While you're
Johnson.
does anyone have their phone or iPad here? Sean
do.
usually does this. He'll look things up. I don't have my phone with me.
I did
Why
bring
is
an
Sean
iPad.
not here
Sean
with
needs
us?
to be here. He's usually here.
Sean, I know you're in
Slacking.
the
But
If
newsroom
you would
listening.
look up the stream thing,
Okay.
that would be great. While we're
right.
Question for Joe.
All right.
What do you think of Bill Nye the Science Guy?
Whoa! But so Bill Nye the Science Guy. Why is that funny? I used to think I didn't know his background until maybe 5-10 years ago. Remember the show from the 90s?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I thought he was just like a TV, silly, goofy guy. More like, Blue or Mr. Rogers or something. But he is an engineer. He has become a whole different spokesman for the scientific community in the last 5-10 years on climate change, on many scientific principles and hot topics. So I love Bill Nye the Science Guy.
So
He's
he
not
really
just-
is scientific.
Yeah, he's not just a TV goofball. He
Forgot
plays
about
that.
him.
He is an engineer, and he is very, very well educated in the sciences and lives by the scientific method, as I do. I love Bill Nye. Yeah, he's awesome.
Who knew?
Yeah, he
Mindy
is
has an
interesting.
answer to the cricks.
He was actually just shown on a show that I watched called Blind Spot, I believe it is. But he portrayed a scientist and stuff.
Yeah,
and,
he's awesome.
Okay, so yes, a river is a stream, a type of stream. It's a large body of water, flowing water propelled by gravity.
Water propelled by gravity.
Well, stream is a broad term encompassing any flowing body of water, just like you said, like your teacher said. So
So they're all streams, really.
they're all streams. Rivers often originate from smaller streams known as headwaters and eventually flow into other rivers, lakes, or oceans.
I'm going to stick with they're all officially streams.
They're all streams.
Can I
That's the
say a
official
little
thing.
secret about, you know how I'm a wannabe meteorologist?
Yeah.
I'm also a wannabe hydrologist.
Oh my God, John.
That's why you know the word
I
headwaters.
find that all fascinating. The way
So more hydrology than geology? Just hydrology?
I find watersheds and how it all works
my
to
God.
be fascinating.
Oh my gosh.
I love looking
Can
at
I have a
watershed
new
maps.
co-anchor, please?
No, John.
I love watershed maps.
I think there was a bifurcation in your life, and you went right, and you should have went left.
I think so.
Yeah.
Could have been a science
True.
geek like me.
Mm.
When I did weather in Johnstown, so I did weekend weather, but that was my first job. I was hired as a reporter, and I did weekend forecasts because the weekend meteorologist went on maternity leave and then decided not to come back. We were an AccuWeather station, so they provided the forecast for us. And when I was going back to news, this chief meteorologist there said, you should go and get a meteorology degree because you love this.
Wow.
And at that point, I didn't want to go back to school. I had gone for news. I just wanted to do news.
That's when you should have went left.
I should have gone.
Yes, yeah.
I've been a wannabe meteorologist ever since.
You should
could
have
have had a
taken
completely different path.
the road less traveled.
And there's still a lot of TV stations that just hire reporters to broadcast the weather.
That wasn't abnormal at all that I was
that's
not a
still
meteorologist doing the weather because this forecasting service did
Yeah,
the
a lot of
forecast.
TV stations, they'll get their weather from AccuWeather, and they just hire a presenter for that information.
I don't think that happens as much anymore.
That doesn't happen as much. But
Yeah.
to me, it's very bizarre.
It used to be the thing.
I would
But
love to see a clip of you doing the weather.
I know we do need that.
Yeah.
Were you
My
stiff
mom
and
has the
uncomfortable?
tapes in the basement.
Oh, are they VHS?
They're VHS
Were you,
tapes
what was it
because
like?
she
Do you feel
recorded
like
a lot.
Were you into it? Were you? How long did it last? Months?
A year.
1 year
I
doing
did
nothing
a
but
whole
weather.
year. No, I reported during the week, and then I was weekend weather person. I filled in for the morning meteorologist. I filled in for the chief meteorologist. It just became so. I must have done okay.
And
Just
you
give us
loved
today's
it.
forecast. Pretend this is your morning and go. Let's go to John for today's weather.
Oh, I can't just do that off the top. But you've seen me when I get
I
going,
know,
when
he's
we
into it.
joke around. I'm definitely into it. Should I go back to school?
You have time, buddy.
Could.
Career change?
Career change. Mindy, what
This
do you
is
got?
really just, this isn't even a question. It's just kind of a statement about Ginger Z and her
Okay.
name and stuff. I don't know. Do we care?
Is her first name really indeed Ginger?
It is, yeah.
Ginger
yeah.
Z?
Is her last name Z?
No, it's her dad was from the Netherlands. Her last name is Zeitgeist. But
She was named
She's
after
played by
the
Z.
and she was named after the actress Ginger from Gilligan's Island.
I don't know about
So
that.
there's interesting facts there.
But I don't know if it's true.
Oh, all right. Well,
I mean, I know that her dad was from the Netherlands and her last name is Zeitgeist.
well, see what we did learn is the Z part. I didn't know
yes.
that.
Do you
I
want to
knew
pick
that.
another question, or do you
Pick
think
another
Yeah,
one then,
that
Mindy.
one wasn't very
This is
good.
live, compelling news, so
Yeah.
we answer that one even though it really
was
wasn't a
interesting, but
All right.
Yeah.
wasn't a question. It was more like a
Z
statement.
is not her actual last name. This question is for John and Joe. So,
Oh.
you
Let's
know,
go,
Nick-
baby.
Sit this one out.
Nikki and I can just be chopped liver dumplings over here.
You know what you can do? You can fix your fake eyelashes while we answer this one.
Whatever. Nikki has real eyelashes. I'm the one
you,
with
Nikki?
fake eyelashes.
Yes.
Wow,
I
they're
didn't-
lush.
She has
Oh, well,
beautiful
thank
eyelashes,
you.
yeah. Okay, well, you know what? The thing is, Nikki and I could answer this too. I don't understand why Ben says it's just for John
Come
and
on,
Joe.
Ben.
Which do you prefer, Lowe's or Home Depot?
I don't want to endorse anything.
Yeah, we can't endorse, right? But Joe, and I think Joe has a definite answer to this.
So, I have done this before. Whatever direction I'm coming from, whatever's first, I will go to. If I'm coming from Scranton on my way home, I hit Lowe's first. If I'm coming from my house going south, Home Depot is closer by literally, what, a few
A
hundred
mile.
yards.
Yeah.
To me, they're interchangeable. I don't really care.
I would say I would have the same answer. Is that I think they're interchangeable. I tend to go to Lowe's more just geography-wise. In Lackawanna County and Dixon City, it's funny. Lowe's and Home Depot are on the same road. In Luzerne County, it's a little bit more of an effort for me to get to Home Depot. There's a Lowe's 6 minutes from
Yeah,
my
whatever's
house.
more convenient.
So it's just more convenient to go to Lowe's.
I think they do specialize in some things, though, don't they? Like,
I guess I
My
the
husband
stuff
will
that I
say,
need, I can
yeah.
find at usually both of them. It's just geographically Lowe's.
If
is
I need a
exactly-
torque wrench and it's $20.79 at Home Depot and it's $19.99 at Lowe's, I'm not going to worry about that, whatever's closer.
Right.
So I'm not going
Right.
to price $1 or $2. It's a matter of convenience, what's closer. How's the parking lot? Is it crowded? I don't want
which
to wait
one?
in lines.
Which one will let Jed in?
They both do,
They
and I
both
have
do?
brought Jet into both, and he has taken excretions.
That's what I was gonna ask.
And then I just play dumb and keep moving.
Oh, and then you say it must be that other dog over there.
Yeah. So,
Although I must say, I joke with my father-in-law that I call his house Lowe's because if I need something for a project, I check with him first. Because chances are he has the tool, he has the product, he has.
he's a user, Mindy.
I know, kind of a
His
leash,
neighbor,
right?
his father-in-law, he uses all
Just
their
does
tools,
whatever.
trucks.
It works.
Something about Home Depot, I like the orange and white too. It's just more.
Interesting.
They have different vibes at the stores, but I think they both
have
work.
different vibes, but
Yeah.
they both work. I don't care.
Yeah. Is Home Depot better for paint or no?
I don't know the answer to that. That's a good question.
I've had paint from both, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I have a feeling they put the same paint label on all the different brands.
Yeah, that's probably
And
true.
just
I
they
think that's
rebrand it.
sometimes too, and they just name the color
Yeah,
something different.
extra special, and
Yeah.
is it my turn?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Extra
What was the name of your
satiny twist to it.
What was it? It was something snow.
snowball or I don't know.
When I painted our bathroom.
Yeah.
That's done, by the way. Bathroom
The
project.
bathroom is
complete.
done. I think we need
Do you
some
wanna see,
photos.
Complete.
A
You didn't
complete
even
photo?
update us. This
Yeah,
is
it's done.
huge. The
great.
bathroom project.
Bathroom is done.
Wow.
He just dropped this on it.
Painted the feature wall or accent wall.
Was
the
all done?
wallpaper is
Was that
done.
wallpaper? She did that.
She and I worked on that together.
Wow.
Her idea.
Yeah, we need a
All right.
picture.
Yes, we do.
Hurtful. Travis, hey, morning crew. Can you
Oh,
explain how the
Travis.
radar works to us and tell us when it's going to wear outside the weekend? All right. I was outside this weekend, and my phone was telling me it was raining, and there was a green showing the radar, but it wasn't raining. However, you could feel the moisture in the air. And then there is future radar, the computer simulation of what you think is going to happen based on the current radar. He wants to know about this. Does this sound like a boring subject?
I don't think so.
You.
But I
Yeah,
don't want to be
but
meteorologist.
I was going to say, are you the person to answer?
Here's what I want to say. I think is happening a lot in society now with the future radar on the apps.
Okay.
Is that, and Joe, you can tell me if I'm wrong or if this is,
Here we go.
if I'm onto something. So people will look, it shows the radar of what's coming.
Yeah.
You know, what you've seen happen is happening right now. Then they change to the model, it shows the future radar. And I think so many people, then if it shows a rain icon over where they are, they cancel their weekend plans. Like I have been with people. They said, "Well, my app shows it's going to rain
So
here
they're
in an
not.
hour."
My daughter does that. They literally take it, literally what they see, thinks
the
it represents
future radar
exactly
shows
what's going
green
to happen.
over where they're going to be in an hour, and then some of the apps now too show hour by hour, and it'll show a rain icon per hour. And I'll be with people, and they're like, "Oh, we're not going to do that this afternoon because look, it's showing that it's going to rain then." And I think, based on watching your forecast, when you show future radar, it is showing there's a chance that the rain could be there.
And I'm assuming everyone knows that, but they don't.
They don't. They will look at that and weekend plans out. We're not doing anything outside because that app shows me green.
And it doesn't
where I
work that
am
way.
at such
In
and such
some
time.
situations,
and then
yes.
there's so many days that the plans have been canceled,
because of
and
a
we don't
future
do it,
radar.
and it's a beautiful afternoon.
Yeah.
And you can't, the future radar apps, they're called deterministic. It's one model's interpretation of a thing. And you don't do that in science. What we use is an ensemble, many different models. You look at the data, then you make a prediction based on many outcomes. You don't just do one portrayal of an event. That's called deterministic. And that's what they do too, which is wrong. Look at, you put oil in a bowl, in a pan, and you put popcorn in there, all right? Now you heat it up. I can tell you that in 5 minutes, some of those popcorns are going to pop. What if I had a computer model that showed popcorn popping? Just because the one on the right-hand corner popped, that doesn't mean that's the one that's going to pop. Do you follow me? It means there's going to be some popping. Don't take it literal that one little seed in the upper right popped. 10% of them will pop. We don't know where, but they're going to pop. So that's how future radar should be taken. If you see it over your town, it doesn't mean it's going to be you. You may not be that popcorn that popped, but it's going to pop somewhere. So it gives you an idea of what's going to happen, but not specifically from town to town.
But that's just for pop-up showers, right? What about if there's a band of
Very
showers?
good. So if it's an organized system coming our way, you can determine literally from sometimes town to town.
No,
when that's
I
gonna
agree.
happen.
And
That's a
if you
different
look at the
situation.
future radar, if you can tell if there's a whole band of precipitation coming,
Yeah, we
and
can
then
be
it
very
keeps
certain.
that band moving towards you, of course that rain's coming. I think it's the
But Mindy, he's right. People don't.
chance of shower days are the days that you look. There's green over where you live in the future, and you're like, we're not going outside today.
Yeah, so people need to differentiate between those situations. And it's
Joe,
hard.
if you watch
It
him,
would
this
take-
is a little plug of why I still think local weather is so important.
Yeah, it's true.
He's going to say every morning, it may rain a total of an hour today.
Oh.
But 23 hours of the day are going to be dry. Your app is going to make it seem like it could rain at any time today. Don't do anything outside.
Thank you, John.
You're going to say pour the concrete.
Thank you.
That
We
means I know I
can't
can go outside.
rely on AI weather. We have to have the human.
Having it on your phone is great. It's a big help,
help.
to be
It's
able
a
to look
tool.
at the radar and all that kind of stuff. But I think it's dictating people's behavior a lot more.
And the thing with the app, it says a percentage of the showers.
And what is that?
And that can be confusing too.
I don't think the average person knows what that means either.
No.
And it loves those percentages. When you look at the hourly, you're like, oh, it's 57% at that hour, so it really is going to rain then.
Yep.
And then that hour passes, and it's nice.
It's a random, chaotic science. We do our best to try to delineate the information. We use percentages and future radar, but you need someone to really hold your hand and explain it to you. And that's why I'm here.
That's
That's
why
why
we're here.
you're employed.
Well, it's your turn to
What do you
pick
think?
a
Do you
question.
think
No,
we
I
made
just
that
picked that one.
interesting, or was that
No,
a
I thought
boring
that was
science
me.
No,
question?
thank you.
Oh no, that was Nikki. I'm sorry. Now it's Nikki's turn.
Now it's me.
I can't keep track of these
Nikki,
things.
Nikki, Nikki.
Oh, Mindy.
Uh-oh.
This question is for Mindy and Nikki.
Oh.
I don't know
John, I guess we'll just step out of here and go.
But I don't
fluff
know
up
why
our
you guys
eyelashes.
can't answer this too. It says, what was your first job?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not offended.
Interesting.
Go at it.
Go ahead.
My first job, it was Frometh Tennis Pro Shop. It was a tennis store, and I worked in the back. I packed up boxes to ship out.
Wait, this is huge. What do you
Yeah.
mean? What kind of boxes?
They shipped out tennis stuff all
Like
around.
tennis supplies? and
Yeah,
stuff?
like tennis rackets, tennis balls, tennis strings. It was a
Did you put them in those little clear tubes?
no, but I put the tubes in the boxes. I put everything in the boxes and used the tape gun and
That's a
put
great
the
first
labels
job.
on the boxes. Yeah, because my mom worked there, so she
Okay.
got me a job in the back, and I couldn't be out front because I was only 15. So, but I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That could be a career.
Yeah.
There were people who had it as a
Are
career.
you a tennis pro?
No,
She
Played
played
tennis?
tennis
I played
though.
tennis.
Yeah.
Oh.
but that was my first job.
Nikki and I, all summer long, we've had the best intentions of at some point playing tennis together. We're like, oh, we're going to get together, we're going to play tennis.
I predict Nikki would
And
destroy you.
She would. But I was honest. I said, Nikki, I have not played tennis in years and years and years, but I think it would be fun to play.
I know.
And I think
we never
should.
did.
We
Maybe
should
do
do it.
pickleball.
Yeah, well, we thought about
that too.
You
Yeah.
better talk about your first job. There's only a couple minutes
Okay,
left.
all right. My first job was scooping ice cream. So I worked at a place a lot like Manning's, but it was in Iowa, of course. It was called Whitey's, and I got a really strong right arm because I scooped ice cream. I made shakes and malts and sundaes and all the things.
That's fun.
Yes.
Are we allowed to answer?
I think you guys should
Yes,
answer
go,
too.
go, go.
Was Burger King your first job?
Well, I worked with my brother-in-law at the time. They were doing masonry on the side, but the first tax taken out job was Burger King. Yep.
Yeah, so my first taxes being taken out was being a lifeguard
Ooh.
at the
Okay.
pool. But
That's
I mowed lawns for a couple years before that of all different elderly people.
And
in
you
the
didn't
neighborhood.
pay taxes on that?
Yes, I did.
Finish this off,
I
baby.
was
One
just
last
curious.
question. We only have 40 seconds left, maybe,
I feel
right?
like we have to be honest with the
Yes.
people, you know.
My brother-in-law,
I just didn't have them withheld.
when I did masonry with him, he never took taxes out. I was paying
We always look
legally
for new
under the
pizza
table.
places
Okay.
to try. What is your favorite go-to pizza place?
We were just talking about this.
Bowling Alley Pizza in the Back Mountain, Spare Time Pizza. I think it's the best I've ever had anywhere.
Wow.
Okay.
And
I
I
just
just
told him
try
that this
that. And
morning.
then I looked at pictures. He might be right, and I never was there. That looks awesome.
Hollywood Pizza in Mount Carmel.
Yum.
Yum.
Happy Joe's in Iowa. I like their taco pizza.
I'm not a big food guy, but I like Frank's Restaurant in Simpson, where I grew up. Great chili burgers.
Oh, they have great steaks.
Great
Awesome.
everything. It's really blossomed over the years. All right, get your questions in for next time. Brown bag at wnep.com. And then Mindy is going to show us right now as we leave. You can't really get this on TV how to scoop ice cream. Give me the arm motion here.
Like that, and then I would just like eat it.